Do you think it's possible to add a headphone jack to an iPhone 7? I'm Scotty with Strange Parts. You probably know me as the guy who built his own iPhone in China. I'm here in Hong Kong in front of the Apple Store, and I came down here a few months ago to buy a new iPhone 7 because I want to shoot better video when I'm out exploring the industrial world. But I was really annoyed it doesn't have a headphone jack, and I really want one. So I was stewing on it. And I was stewing on it because I know Apple's not going to add it back. But I did end up buying one, and I went home, and I woke up the next morning, and I thought, why don't I add my own headphone jack? How hard could it be? Now, other people have tried doing this. Don't do that. Turns out, it's really bad for your phone. I want to do it for real. Is it possible? I don't know. I'm going to head to Shenzhen and find out. 你好，我要去这里。对，好，谢谢。I'm here in Shenzhen, the electronics manufacturing capital of the world. We're here in Huashangbei, which are the electronics wholesale markets, and you can get just about anything here. I need a phone I can take apart, and I don't really want to take apart the nice shiny one I just got at the Apple Store. So I looked around for an iPhone 7 logic board that I could use to build up my own phone, and I'm not really finding very many. So instead, I bought a used phone.
This is my screen cracker. Let's see if we can open a gap down here where we can get either our fingernail or a tool in there. Yep, there we go.
You can see there's not a whole lot of empty space in this phone. A little bit of extra room, but not much. I want to know what this thing is here, because that's where the headphone jack would have gone. So iFixit says, according to Apple, this little plastic thing in the corner is a barometric vent in order to have an accurate altimeter. That's just a piece of plastic. Yeah, I don't believe that that's a barometric vent. I don't really know what I'm talking about. It just looks to me like a plastic clip that holds some connectors on. Here is the headphone jack. If this was in here, how would it fit? Oh, it would. It might. It might stick out a little. I wonder how much I can cut this down without... Okay, so... Holy shit. I was expecting to say that there's no space here, and I don't think that's true. I thought it was gonna look like that, where I was gonna have this big bulge on the outside. But now, I think I can put it on the inside. I don't want to change the case at all. I just want to drill a hole. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think there was enough room inside, but I think there might be. That's kind of crazy. I'm on my way to the markets to get a Dremel to grind out more room in the case. Okay, I think that's what I want. Let's see if that'll work. This right here is where I want to put the headphone jack. This goes here. The battery will go in up here. So this, now it needs a hole to come out through. Right here. That is getting pretty far out there. The Taptic engine is still in the way. Maybe I can move the battery up. Oh, I am a lucky bastard. I can totally just put the Taptic engine in sideways. So the battery just a little higher. It sits right up against the top of the logic board, which I think is fine. It looks totally cockeyed, but it works.
I'm starting to get really worried about the vertical space. So that's fully flush on that corner, but over here it's sticking up. That's a pretty big problem. So this is the bottom of the screen, that's the button. This bracket right here goes right on top of where we want to put the headphone jack. Let's try taking that off. Ooh, that is very close to at least allowing the top connector to fit in if I grind off the corner. Oh man, now I've got a problem with connectors getting unplugged. It's these two connectors right here that are giving me the problem. It's really hard to show this, but they both sort of come together like right in the same area. And I'm worried they're colliding with each other. And so it does work. It comes pretty much flush at this point. But I'm worried that pressure is popping that connector off. The other option I was thinking about is if I can move this connector over far enough, then this actually can go on the bottom again. I'm not sure if that's gonna fly.
I'm getting ahead of myself though. First, I just need to get the electrical side of things working. I thought maybe I'd get lucky and I'd find a place inside the phone that I could just wire up a headphone jack to. And after doing some research online and talking to people, I don't think that's the case. So I'm gonna have to get clever. I started thinking about this headphone adapter that Apple gives you with your phone. It's got a lightning plug on one end and a headphone jack on the other. And I thought, could I wire that into the back of one of these lightning jacks like this, and then have the headphone adapter stick out the front? So I've come to the Apple Store here in Shenzhen. It's the only official Apple Store run by Apple to get some more official adapters.
你好， 要几个？
You want to buy this?
Yeah, I want to buy this, yeah.
78. 300 and that's all.
Okay, thank you. Well, that was pretty easy. Not cheap, but easy.
Let's cut this open. Oh, that might, I just broke something. Yeah, damn it. That might have been bad. Oh, that's bad. Dang it. I should have bought more than one.
Hi, do you guys have lightning to headphone adapters?
Yes.
Didn't see it here. Oh, it's hiding. Perfect. Great. Need a couple, actually. I'll take 3.
3?
Yeah.
Why do you need
I
that
keep
much?
breaking them.
200.
236.
But do you need a receipt for that in case it has some problem, although it's very small?
I think it's okay. I think the next step is for me to try and solder wires onto the back of a lightning jack and onto the headphone adapter, and then try and connect them together. But this is finer solder work than I've ever done. So I went to my favorite tool booth in the markets, and I got their fanciest tweezers. This one, okay. This one, good.
Good, yeah.
And this one, the best.
Best.
Switzerland Vitas. And they come in a tube, which means they're extra fancy. Good? You get it?
Very, very good.
Super nice guy. Okay. 谢谢你老板. Oh, okay. Okay.
This high temperature is.
High temperature. Okay. High temperature sounds good.
What do you want?
Maybe I'll get red.
Red.
In the high temperature. Yeah.
Temperature.
My $10 USB microscope is total crap, so it's time to go get a new one. So that was a typical but amazing experience. She took everything out of the box, showed me how everything went together, debugged it all just to prove everything works and make sure I have no problems. Good? Perfect. How cool is that? Here goes nothing. This is what I've been working on for far too long now, well over a week at this point. This is the lightning dock
that would go in the bottom of an iPhone 7. I've soldered wires on the back of that to each of the pins to this breakout header here. This is my taken apart lightning to headphone jack adapter. I've just taken all of the pins on the lightning jack and I've attached them to these header pins here. The next thing to do is to connect them together. This is exactly the same thing as just plugging the adapter into the lightning jack, but it'll just test that I've got my wiring right before I start trying new things. Here it goes. Yes! It works. Nice.
Now I need to figure out how to charge the phone. If I'm gonna wire up this headphone adapter instead of the lightning jack, then the lightning jack won't be connected anymore. So I gotta figure something else out. I was just talking with some friends over beer and street barbecue tonight, and I've been telling them what I've been working on and struggling with, and they suggested that I make my own circuit to just switch between the lightning jack and the headphone adapter. Apparently there are chips that can switch USB, so maybe something like that'll work? I think I found a chip that'll work. I'm on my way to the markets to meet a chip broker that a friend recommended. Ni hao. Are you Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you've got them already ready?
Yeah.
Perfect. I just want to give a quick explanation of what's happening here. This is the headphone adapter, and this headphone jack will stick out of the phone. This is the lightning jack that you'll see on the outside of the phone. And then this is where it's all connected to the phone, where the lightning jack used to be connected. And then this is the switching chip that switches between connecting the headphone adapter to the phone or the lightning jack to the phone, depending on whether something's plugged into the lightning jack or not.
Here goes. So let's start by putting the lightning jack in. First test. Do the headphones work? It says iPhone, right? Plug this guy in. Now it says headphones. Sweet. Amazing! Holy shit, it works. Put this in. And it charges. Okay, now here's the real test. Can I switch over to the other jack? Okay. Headphones are connected. Now let's switch it to 1 and bingo! Headphones. Plug in, charging. Headphones. Plug in, charging. Headphones. I think I got it. Yes! Time to make a circuit board. I'm really excited to get to this point.
Next, I need to figure out how to get this inside of here. Originally, I thought I'd be able to hand wire it, but I think things are way too complex for that now. So I'm gonna make a printed circuit board, or PCB. You've probably seen these before. They look really complex, but they're really just a bunch of wires glued onto a rigid piece of fiberglass. And the cool part about these is that I can draw them on the computer and then have a factory make a really precise copy. The first circuit board I make is not gonna fit inside the phone. It's gonna be way too big. I'm gonna use big chips that are really easy for me to solder. I'm gonna add lots of test points to make it easy to debug. And then I'll use what I learned from this to design a much smaller board that will fit inside the phone.
Okay, finally done designing the circuit board. I'm exhausted. I've been working on this for the past 2 days. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up too badly. It's about 10:30 in the morning here on a Sunday, and I just got a delivery. The circuit boards. There is our finished prototype board. Sweet.
Time to put it together.
let's give this a shot. You can put it together with the iPhone 6s. 7 is still in the shop. No. So headphones don't work straight out of the gate. That's not right. I just totally wired these backwards. Okay, well, there's probably an easy solution to this, which is to remove the headphone jack and wire it up with the wires. Right about now, I was hoping to say, there it is, the prototype is done and it's working. But not so much. The only part that's not working right now is this little guy, which is the lightning to headphone adapter. But I have wired up the headphone adapter that I hand soldered that I was using before for prototyping, and I can get that to work. I think I'm gonna declare victory and move on. Now it's time to fit all of this circuitry inside the phone. Now, obviously, this big board isn't gonna fit. So I'm gonna have to make a smaller one, a much smaller one. I'm going to try making a flexible circuit board. Now, these are the same as the normal circuit boards, except that instead of gluing the wires down to a rigid piece of fiberglass, they're glued down to a flexible piece of plastic instead. This allows them to bend around other parts. They're used a lot in cell phones and cameras where space is really at a premium. They're sometimes called origami circuits because they often have really complex folds. I've never designed one of these before, so we'll see how this goes. I went and got a printer so that I can figure out whether the Flex PCB design fits as drawn on the computer inside the phone. Time for a little ghetto lamination. I'm going to the markets to see Lisa, who is my contact at the Flexible Circuit Board Factory. Hi, how are you? So this is an iPhone 7. I'm adding a headphone jack.
Oh, you changed the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what this board does.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Cool.
Yeah. This is my first Flex PCB design, so I want to make sure I'm not making any major mistakes.
You just need one piece.
I probably should get like at least 5 pieces, just in case I have 5 or 10 pieces, just in case I have problems.
5 or 10 pieces.
Yeah. And I'll send you the file when I'm done. Hopefully the end of today I'll get it to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Good seeing you, Lisa. Good seeing you, Nana. Okay, bye-bye. Feeling pumped up again. Things are moving forward finally. All right, I just sent the files off to Lisa and she said she got them. So just waiting on them to make the actual boards now. I'm super excited. I'm rushing over to meet Lisa to go out to the factory. All right, so we're here at the FPC factory. Let me give you a quick overview of what we're gonna see before we go into the factory. Remember I said that circuit boards were just a bunch of small wires? Well, they etch those wires out of a sheet of copper using acid. First, we need the copper that's gonna become part of our circuit board. They cut it off a roll. It's actually 2 sheets of copper with a layer of special plastic in the middle. Next, they drill any holes the board needs. They use these really cool robotic drilling machines, which can automatically switch between different size drill bits. Wow, it's super strong smelling in here. Okay, so it's for plating, copper plating the vias. When they drill a hole, then they need to fill the hole back in with copper so it conducts between the 2 layers. They then run it through these machines, which etch off all of the rest of the copper, leaving only the wires I've drawn. Now it's time to make the solder mask. The solder mask is another layer of plastic that covers up the wires where I don't want solder to stick when I go to solder on the chips. This is the silkscreening room here, where they're putting on the silkscreen for any numbers or letters or writing that needs to be on the board. It's a gradual stacking up of a layer sandwich.
This is for testing.
So these are test jigs for testing all of the electrical contacts. Everything that should connects, and things that shouldn't connect don't connect. And every time a board is made, they need to make a tool, a test tool for it.
Okay, for the FPC, it's finished.
Finished. Okay, that's the whole process. Great. And finally, they ship out the boards to the customer. That's me. So Lisa just texted me on WeChat and said that the Flex PCB boards are done. Hoping this board just works. If it doesn't, it'll be at least a week's delay, maybe more.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Good. Oh, you've got them right in your hand. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, they look good.
I got the boards, and I'm super psyched. Big question now is, do they work, and can I solder them? I'd be lying if I didn't say I was at least a little bit worried. This is the smallest soldering I've ever done, so I'm hoping I can pull it off. So I'm gonna start with the cheap chips first. I mean, I think the strategy here is to apply a little bit of solder paste. This solder paste is little tiny microscopic metal balls, solder balls, suspended in flux, in like a flux paste. All right, I've got something everywhere. Now, when I apply the hot air, all of these little microscopic solder balls are gonna melt and turn into a solid piece of metal wherever they are. So I'm trying to make sure it's all in the right places. Surface tension is totally your friend when you're doing this kind of stuff. So I just want everything to be kind of connected enough that surface tension will pull it all together when it melts. I guess let's put the passives on first, the little capacitors and stuff. Okay, now, chips. All right, these are the BGA chips. These are the ones that are the smallest and have the little solder balls on the bottom. This could result in massive failure if I just blow all these chips everywhere. I just want like a baby's breath of hot air. See everything moving around? That's what should happen. Boy, that looks great. I think I'm gonna stop there. If that was actually it, that's really darn simple. Just looking for that everything got adhered properly and there aren't any major bridges between pins or pads. There it is. That's our little set of chips here. Sweet! Awesome! Next step, the other side. Accept that as maybe working. So many things have to go right for this to work. I'm nervous. This is the moment of truth. How cool is that? Oh, months of work finally coming through. Headed over to my friend Nick's place.
你好，我要去水尾。
He's a mechanical engineer and he just got a desktop CNC mill. CNCs are super cool. They're basically super precise robotic drills. So he's gonna try and help me mill better holes in the case for the headphone jack than what I can do by myself just with a handheld Dremel. Hello, hello. How's it going?
Good.
Oh, you got a proper lab in here.
I set up the basics of this.
Okay.
I'm still figuring out how to use this software. So it's gonna sit like this, right?
Yep.
So, and the important measurement is the height of the hole from this face. Okay, so it's doing a helix, and then these blue lines are...
Yeah, just cuts.
I'm gonna load the G-code. Just try it.
Yeah, let's give it a shot with one of these spare backs.
I hope this isn't a bad idea. Alright, here goes nothing. Well, I don't think our feeds and speeds were ideal. There's definitely a lot of vibration going on. Oh man, I wonder how many like noob things we did all in one go.
I'm going to cut out the inside now, and that'll allow us to actually like test fit the jack and see if this all works.
There it goes.
Oh shit. I guess we'll have to have a 2.0.
Yeah, totally.
The box is destroyed, but
It's still got a sticker on it.
I looked it up on Taobao. They're about 180. So
Yeah, cool.
So we picked up this Xbox 360 controller, and now it works with Mach 3.
Cutting plastic like a video game. Yeah, I really want one of these now. Looks a lot better than the first time we tried this. It was a lot less terrifying than last time.
That looks pretty damn good, I think.
It almost looks like we know what we're doing now.
That's beautiful.
Next is to machine one of these headphone jacks around the front to get that perfect circle so that it fits in the hole.
Okay, so it looks like you hacked the shit out of this connector.
Yeah, I really did. So I took the Dremel to it and basically just shaved it off until I hit metal on every side.
What
It was
could
like,
go wrong?
okay, like that's enough.
That looks pretty damn good.
I think that's it. Hopefully this case is the one. Time to go home and go to sleep.
Last thing I need to do is fit it inside the phone. So I have it mounted here in the bottom of the case. It's one of the ones I drilled out by hand, and I just want to make sure the screen fits on still. Shot. Pretty decent sized gap there still. That's a problem. That's where I'm at. It fits together, but the screens are breaking. We've broken 2 screens in the past 24 hours, and they're just being too smashed, I think, by the headphone jack.
I don't know, guys. I really want to give up at this point. It just feels like now it's a matter of not screwing up, not breaking something, which isn't very much fun. It's also getting really expensive. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars in broken parts. Like, just this week alone, ignoring the rest of my costs. I knew this project was going to be hard. I had no idea how hard it was going to be. I've heard from so many of you via emails and Facebook messages, and a lot of you have said how inspired you were by what I did. And I wanted this story to be another story of inspiration, of success. And right now it's not. Fuck. I really want to show you guys like a finished phone. I really want to be able to say, here it is, it works. Yeah, I can't stop here. I'm gonna go give it one more shot and be really careful this time. I feel like I'm gradually learning how to not break stuff. It gets a little bit better each time, but wish me luck. Finally got it working. I finally put it together without breaking anything. Check this out. Okay, here's the speaker. And here is the headphones. How awesome is that? Volume buttons work. Can pause it and play. And when I unplug the headphones, it stops. How cool is that? And lastly, the hardest part was getting it so that it would charge. Check this out. That is a pretty sweet sight. So one question you might be asking is, how does this compare to an iPhone 6s, which was the last model of iPhone that Apple made with a headphone jack? This here is my old 6s, and you can see the headphone jack here is a little bit closer in on the 6s, and mine's a little bit further out. And then my hole is a little bit more jagged than theirs. But hey, not too shabby for a handmade phone, right? But wait, there's one more thing. I'm sure a lot of you are asking, how do I get my own iPhone with a headphone jack? Be patient. I've already talked to a lot of people who want a modern iPhone with a headphone jack. And unfortunately, I'm not your savior just yet. You can see how hard it was for me to put together just this one phone. This design isn't quite ready for prime time. But for you die-hard Strange Parts fans, I've made a limited edition board just for you. Go here to find out more. Next, to Apple. I really want to buy an iPhone with a headphone jack in it from you. I hear you've got a new phone coming out soon. So if you want help adding a headphone jack, let me know. I'll go one step further. If you're an Apple engineer and you can email me any reasonable proof, I'll send you a free circuit board. I just want to help, guys. If you're a Strange Parts fan, I need some help. Please comment below with what you'd like to see me do next. And if you think you've got a really awesome idea, send me an email to tips@strangeparts.com. I'm really looking forward to exploring outside of just cell phones and China. I travel full time, so if you live somewhere interesting or you've got an idea for an interesting story in an out-of-the-way place, chances are I'm interested in going to check it out. Also, to the brothers and sisters in Huashangbei and the broader cell phone ecosystem here in Shenzhen, you've helped me so much. So I have a gift for you. I want to give you the design for this, no charge, to make and modify. So many of you are way more skilled than I am. I hope that you can improve on this design and make it available to the average person. Believe me, they really want it. I give you my full permission to make and sell these. The files are on my Weibo account and website here. Also, I have some extra PCBs to give you. Send me a message on Weibo and I'll tell you how to get one. I hope that one day we'll feel like we truly own our devices, that we'll feel free to modify and repair our phones as we please, to upgrade them and to add whatever features we can dream up. Until then, thank you for watching. I'm Scotty with Strange Parts. Hit that subscribe button down below and stay tuned for more adventures. Oh, and lastly, I wanted to give a huge shout out to everybody that's helped me with this video. Go check out the description. There's a lot of people doing really amazing things. I know a lot of you are gonna ask, can this be done on an iPhone 8? I don't know. I haven't seen one yet.